Day 20, chapter 20. Let's go. All right, guys. So we're reading Proverbs 20 today. We're reading one Proverbs a day for the month of February. So that way, at the end of the month, you can say that you read all the way through Proverbs. So we're going to get straight into it, though. First verse that we're going to go ahead and highlight is going to be verse 1. It's going to be titled The Mockery of Wine. So, verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whoever so is deceived thereby is not wise. The fear of the king is as the roaring of a lion. Whoever so provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own soul. It is an honor of a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg in the harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Alright, the next section is going to be titled The Just Man. Verse 6. Most men will proclaim everyone in his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. The king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scattereth away evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure of my sin? Divers weights and divers measures, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord. Verse 11. Even a child is known of his doings, whether his work be pure or whether it be right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye the Lord hath made, even both of them. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. It is naughty, saith the buyer, but when it is gone his way, then he boasteth. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be full with gravel. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscured darkness. Verse 21. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but at the end thereof shall not be blessed. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Divers weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? It is a snare to a man who devoureth that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. A wise king scattereth the wicked, and bringeth the will over them. The spirit of a man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. The glory of men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil, so do stripes the inward parts of the belly. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off on verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whoever so is deceived thereby is not wise. So, I mean, it's telling you straightforward, wine is a mocker, so it mocks the person who drinks it. Usually whenever you get really drunk, blacked out, whatever the case is, you're like, dude, from that point, after hearing all the stories or whatever the case is, you're like, dude, that I acted out of character, that didn't even seem like me, whatever the case is. And then it says, wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging. So from that point, then causing issues, or even to the point of fighting, and whoever so is deceived thereby is not wise. So it's just basically saying, being sober-minded, being vigilant is obviously the wise way. Wine is used for a metaphor for righteousness or for human effort. basically taking the approach of using your works or your good deeds, to get to God. Um, Alcohol is just a metaphor. It could be any mind altering deal. It could be cannabis. It could be pills, whatever the case is, all the above. But it's not just talking about wine or alcohol as the mocker. The reason why it calls you a mocker is because it clouds your judgment. Um, Ultimately, you're not in the mind space of, oh, I need Jesus and all I need is Jesus. You're kind of in the mind space of, in a way, almost idolizing whatever you're using, because you start to run to it rather than to Jesus. And that's why it's calling wine the mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whoever so is deceiveth, and whoever so is deceived thereby is not wise. Verse 7. The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. I think that's kind of straightforward, tells you straightforward. Go into verse 9, it's kind of just like a dang, that's another reminder. But verse 9, who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? And there's a question mark after that, so it's basically asking a question. It's in a way, a rhetorical question, and it's just a reminder. I think it speaks directly for itself, who can say, I have made my heart clean? Obviously, Jeremiah 17:9 says that our heart is deceitful, so that's telling you nobody, and I am pure from my sin. The only ones that would be pure from their sins are going to be the ones that accept and believe in Jesus Christ and his life, death, and resurrection, and that are saved. Verse 12, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord hath made, even both of them. So it's basically just saying, and I'll put it on here, but the verse that says that people that have eyes, let them see, and people who have ears, let them hear. It's basically saying that the hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord hath made, even both of them. So it's telling you, I equipped you with the eyes, I equipped you with the ears, not just for communication, but to gravitate toward the word, gravitate toward God. That obviously comes with wisdom, that obviously comes with knowledge, and as you continue to seek God, he will continue to fill those eyes and fill those ears. The next one that I wanted to highlight is going to be verse 17. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. You can see that as temptation. You can see that as your sin. So pretty much at first it does seem to be sweet. So bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. So it's literally telling you, after the sin, after the instant gratification that only lasts, so long, instant gratification, little dopamine hit, whatever you want to call it. This is basically saying to run away from it. It tastes like gravel. So at first it tastes amazing. Then after that, you're like, I don't know if you ever gotten gravel in your mouth or, anything like that, but you're just constantly, what the heck is this? What I have in my mouth, you can't get it out, type deal. It's basically explaining the fact that run from your sin, or, necessarily give your sin up to God. Because at first it tastes sweet, then after you realize that it leads to nothing but death and destruction, aka the gravel in your mouth. Just a little, imagery there. All right, guys, well, that is Proverbs 20. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you. I hope that you have a blessed weekend and a blessed week ahead of y'all. Stay tuned for tomorrow for Proverbs 21. All right, peace.